Chapter 61 His Highness is hiding so well. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Congrats, Master. Pig farm completed. Reward, 1,000 potatoes, 1,000 sweet potatoes, curved plow blueprint. Task rated A level. 1 advanced lottery draw awarded. As Ning Fan headed to the pig farm, the system notifications chimed. He opened the system page, and another message popped up. Military farming system implemented. Achievement unlocked. 500 merit points awarded. Another 500 points, Ning Fan grinned. Getting merit points isn't so tough after all. System, advanced lottery. Danger detected. Lottery attempt failed. Please dismount. He realized he was on horseback. Xuanyong slowed down, pointing to a factory up ahead. Your Highness, we're here. Right. The pig farm covered almost 100 acres. Lin Yong's men were delivering piglets, their squeals audible in the distance. Wan-san, I've written down the pig farming details here. Study it carefully later. Remember regular cleaning and quicklime for disinfection. Xuanyong's eyes lit up at the manual. Your Highness, does castration really eliminate the gamey taste? You'll see. That'd be a real game changer for everyone. Ning Fan paused, seeing Xuanyong's excitement. There are plenty of ways to cook pork. Once you get back, hire chefs specializing in pork curing. Cooking methods, and after the wine shop opens, we'll plan the restaurant. Yes, sir. Ning Fan looked around the pig farm. How's the salt mine coming? Xuanyong hesitated. Your Highness, that barren mountain east of the city belongs to the Ma family of Jingzhou Prefecture. They've turned me away every time. The Ma family. Ning Fan recalled the family's information. They were a major power in the capital, and Ma Ziyuan, the prefect of Jingzhou, was on his list of targets. However, given the importance of the position, Ning Fan was holding off. Go to Jiangli at the Jinyui. Have him send some men with you. Tell Jiangli that if Ma Ziyuan wants to deal, he'll hand over the deed to the barren mountain, ASAP. If not, Jiangli can just raid his house. Yes, Your Highness. Xuanyong looked excited and whispered, Your Highness, the wine shop opens the day after tomorrow. Will you be available to oversee it? We'll see. Ning Fan didn't commit. He had the seeds, the plow blueprints, and the game with the Chen family were his priorities. Wan-san, handle the business side of things. If you think it'll make money, don't bother asking me. Just make it happen. Thank you, Your Highness. Xuanyong was touched. This was real trust. Alright, take care of things here. I'm heading back to the city. Yes, Your Highness. Ning Fan approached his horse and opened the system. System, advanced lottery. Success. Please wait. Master, you've obtained Grandmaster level hidden weapons skill. Ning Fan felt an itch in his hands, then a surge of dexterity. Whoa! Am I now a hidden weapon master? Wow! Ning Fan was amazed. If only the 13 deadly guns could reach that level. Let's see what this master level hidden weapon can do. Picking leaves and flying flowers. Ning Fan remembered a TV show technique. He plucked a leaf, flicked his wrist, and sent it flying. It whistled through the air, hitting a rabbit in the grass. The rustling stopped, and the rabbit went silent. Dian Wei, standing nearby, was shocked. His Highness is a hidden martial arts master. Leaf-picking flying flower skill activated. Experience +5. Awesome. Ning Fan was impressed. Martial arts had 5 levels: entry, minor, major, master, and perfection. Even though his skill wasn't perfect, he'd killed a rabbit with a leaf. It triggered the martial arts auxiliary function. So, with practice, I can reach perfection on my own. Cool. Ning Fan opened the system and checked his stats. Name, Ning Fan, Identity, Second Prince of Dayu, King Xuanyong, Jinui Commander, Corrupt Official Nemesis, Master of Asset Confiscation, Chief Instructor of the New Army, Strength, 54, Intelligence, 81, Command, 73, Politics, 67, Magic Weapon, None, Mount, Purple Lightning Flying Dragon, Skills, Photographic Memory, Calligraphy, Master, Hidden Weapon, Grandmaster. Items, Lu Wei Dihuang Pills, Suoyang Gujing Pills, Jin Kue Xinqi Pills, Wuzi Yenzong Pills, Ancient Body. Quenching Recipes, Refined Salt Purification Method, Ancient Winemaking Technology, Sun Tzu's Art of War, 36 Stratagems, 1,000 Potato Seeds, 1,000 Sweet Potato Seeds, Curved Plow Blueprint, Unique Skills, 13 Deadly Guns, Minor Success, Leaf Picking Flying Flower, Beginner. Summoned Heroes, Dian Wei, Shen Wansan, Qin Xiong, Zhuan Zhu, Jia Xu, Zhuge Liang, Yu Fei, Summoned Troops, 18 Riders of Yanyan. Strength up by 10. Intelligence is the same, Command up by 3. Politics up by 5. Those court sessions weren't a waste. Ning Fan mounted his horse, smiling at Dian Wei. Eli, bring the rabbit back. Braised rabbit heads tonight. Dian Wei nodded, grabbing the rabbit by the ears. He saw the green leaf embedded in the rabbit. His Highness took down a rabbit with a leaf. He must be a martial arts master at least. His Highness is full of surprises. Chapter 62 King Xuanyong is planning to take the position of right Prime Minister. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After getting back to the capital, Ning Fan went straight to his room. Early winter had already arrived, and it was too cold to plant potatoes or sweet potatoes on a large scale. Building a greenhouse would cost a fortune. But the thought of the incredible potato and sweet potato yields made up his mind. What can I use instead of plastic sheeting? It needs to keep the heat in, but still let the light through. Is there even anything like that around here? Ning Fan had a major headache. He'd read tons of time travel novels, where the main character whips up a greenhouse to grow new crops, but they never went into detail about the materials. Back in his old life, his family had a farm with a greenhouse. To keep it warm, they just lit a fire and ran a thick iron pipe through it to spread the heat. But there was no way they could make plastic sheeting here. Am I really stuck waiting until spring? Forget it, I'll start with the Zhuyuan plow. Ning Fan thought for a minute, then pulled the blueprints for the Zhuyuan plow from the system and studied them. He was amazed at how clever and well-designed the old farming tools were. This plow has 11 parts, and it's not too hard to make. Getting people to actually use it might take a while, though. After thinking about it for a bit, Ning Fan called out to Lin Yong, "Hey, Lin, get some craftsmen to build this plow for me by tomorrow morning." "Yes, sir." Lin Yong looked at the sketch in Ning Fan's hand, surprised. "Second master, is that a plow?" "Yep. Are you planning?" "It's nothing. I just figured that Dayu's plow is a pain, so I made this curved shaft plow." Second master, are you sure this fancy thing is better than what we've been using?" "Of course." Ning Fan met Lin Yong's skeptical gaze and said, "What do you mean, fancy? Don't you see this one's way smaller than the old ones?" Right. You're totally right, second master. I'm impressed. I'll get this plow made tonight." "Wait." Ning Fan saw Lin Yong was about to leave, and said, "Did you move those guards I asked you about?" "Master, what are you doing? Those bad guys are just waiting for a chance to get you. If the guards leave, who's going to protect you?" "Just do what I said." Ning Fan said, "I'm not going to be stupid, we have to let them go before tonight." "Yes, sir." Lin Yong looked resigned and left the room. Ning Fan noticed he smelled like fish, so he told a maid to get some hot water ready and took a bath. After he got dressed, he took Dian Wei and headed for the palace. Now that he'd set the farming system in motion, he still needed to talk to the emperor about getting a loan of grain from the imperial court. Plus, he needed to discuss the Minister of Revenue position and the right prime minister choice with the emperor. Ning Fan felt confident about it, but he didn't want to overstep. Your son requests an audience with his father. If you're not busy with your investigation, what brings you here? Emperor, you didn't even look up. He was busy writing and reviewing documents, frowning the whole time. Ning Fan was used to Emperor Yu's attitude by now. He walked up, grabbed a lychee from the fruit plate, popped it in his mouth, and said, "Father, I came to ask you for something." "Oh," Emperor Yu looked surprised. He looked up and saw Ning Fan sitting down beside him, so he said, "Is there anything in the world you can't handle?" "Hey, father, there's plenty. But luckily, I've got you to back me up. Stop beating around the bush and tell me what it is." Emperor Yu was curious. With the kid's current power, he usually just did what he wanted. Even the court officials didn't mess with him, but now he was asking for help. "I want to borrow money and food from you." Emperor Yu frowned. "What, doesn't your Xianyong manor have enough food?" "No." Ning Fan shook his head and said, "I've been using some new military training methods, and my soldiers are way better. But they're working so hard, they need more to eat, and the farming system is about to start up. So I want to start giving the 100,000 new troops 3 meals a day." "What?" Emperor Yu looked shocked. "Do you have any idea what it costs to feed 100,000 troops an extra meal every day?" "Yes. I've already thought it through," Ning Fan said. "First, we can have the border soldiers grow their own food. They can reclaim land and plant crops, and keep 40% of the harvest. Second, father, if you want a strong army, you need to make sure they're in good shape. And if they're hungry, how can they train properly? Third, I'm borrowing this grain on behalf of West City Camp. After the harvest next year, I'll pay you back the money, with interest." Emperor Yu thought it over. After a while, he looked at Ning Fan and said, "All right, I agree. But I heard you're having a competition in 3 months. I'll come see the training for myself." "Thank you, father." Ning Fan bowed. He watched Emperor Yu go back to work and took a peek at the document. Emperor Yu raised his eyebrows, but he didn't seem mad that Ning Fan was snooping. "Father, are you going to pick a right prime minister?" "Yeah," Emperor Yu said, annoyed. He looked at Ning Fan and said, "That position's been open for too long. The court officials won't leave me alone until I fill it. But most of the people qualified to be prime minister come from those noble families. I don't have a good choice, and those guys who are secretly disobeying me are using the old rules to put pressure on me. Once the East Territory thing is settled, I'll deal with them." Ning Fan looked at Emperor Yu's angry face and said, "Father, I want to suggest someone." "Oh," Emperor Yu's face changed. His eyes got really intense, and he looked at Ning Fan, trying to figure out what he was up to. Is he after the right prime minister job himself? Did I get him wrong? He hasn't been hanging out with anyone in court, has he? Emperor Yu looked calm, but his eyes were filled with authority. The air in the hall got heavier. Ning Fan was smiling, and he didn't seem scared by Emperor Yu's power at all. He just kept looking at him. Wei Ying, who was standing nearby, kept his head down, not daring to breathe, as he watched the two men. Chapter 63 Zhuan Zhu takes action. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Emperor Yu slowly picked up the teacup from the dragon table, took a sip, and calmly studied Ning Fan's face. He was intrigued. His second son hadn't touched politics in years, and now he wanted to get involved in appointing the right prime minister. Who did he have in mind? Could it be he had a secret power base within the court that he couldn't detect? Tell me who you want to recommend. Your Majesty, I'd like to suggest the former imperial tutor, Chen Rui. Emperor Yu's hand jerked, nearly spilling his tea. He stared at Ning Fan in disbelief. Who did you say? Former imperial tutor, Chen Rui. Ning Fan repeated himself, and a complex expression crossed Emperor Yu's face. Maybe he'd misjudged the situation, he'd thought his second son was playing a hidden game, but now it seemed he was genuinely devoted to the court and completely sincere. After all, Shenli had been out of the capital for years, and couldn't possibly have had any contact with his son. Besides, Shenli would never be involved in anything shady. Emperor Yu's face softened. Do you know where Master Shen is now? Yes, Your Majesty. I've learned he's living in seclusion in a small town south of the Yangtze. Master Shen is old. He might not want to come out of retirement. Emperor Yu sighed. Shenli was an excellent choice, perhaps the best. If he returned, he could solve a lot of the problems in the court, but Shenli had been gone for years. When he'd first taken the throne, he'd tried to find him, but without success. Now, this kid suddenly brings up Shenli. Could he actually convince him to come back? Father, I have a scholar working for me who's been friends with Master Shen for years. He's gone to the south of the Yangtze to invite him. Oh, curiosity flickered across Emperor Yu's face. What are the chances he'll be successful, do you think? 80 or 90%. Good, a smile played on Emperor Yu's lips as he tapped his fingers on the table. If you can bring Master Shen to the capital within 3 days, he'll have the right prime minister position, no questions asked. Deal. Ning Fan's eyes gleamed. He bowed slightly and prepared to leave. One more thing, have you figured out who was behind last night's assassination attempt? Your Majesty, the assassins were all suicide soldiers. I haven't found any useful leads. Damn, Emperor Yu sighed. Now they see you as a threat. Don't take this lightly. Take extra guards when you go out. Don't worry, Father. I'm prepared. Good. You're dismissed. Ning Fan strode out of the hall. Emperor Yu was lost in thought for a long moment. Did you find anything? He murmured. Yes, Your Majesty. They were dead soldiers from the Blood Demon Pavilion, brought out by Marquis Xuanwu 3 years ago. Marquis Xuanwu. Emperor Yu looked surprised, then sneered. I didn't expect him to be involved. Have someone protect my second son secretly. If anything happens to him, you'll answer to me. Yes, Your Majesty. Back in his house, Ning Fan had some time to kill, so he started practicing the 13 deadly spears. The assassination attempt had only made him more determined to gain power. I miss you forever. I miss you forever. Lovesick. Ning Fan froze in place, then thrust out a spear. The barrel trembled, the wind whistled, and a flash of cold light shot forth. You have practiced the first style of 13 deadly spears once. Experience plus 10. You have practiced the first style of 13 deadly spears once. Experience plus 10. You practice. The system notifications popped up one after another. After an hour, Ning Fan was much more proficient with the first form. He'd already reached a decent level of lethality. At least, he could hold his own against a few ordinary strong guys. System, check the martial arts support page. 13 deadly spears, minor success, 221 of 300. Picking leaves and flying flowers, beginner, 5 out of 100. Seeing the other martial arts attribute page, Ning Fan felt a surge of anticipation. A master-level hidden weapon technique was his trump card. Used by surprise, even martial arts masters would have a hard time defending against it. Lin Bo. Second master, what do you need? Get me some darts, silver needles, steel balls, stuff like that. Right away, sir. Lin Yong went to prepare with a smile, while Ning Fan sat down on a stone stool to rest. A Grandmaster level hidden weapon technique wasn't just about throwing them, it also covered how to make them. But making the actual weapons would take a lot of time and effort. Ning Fan didn't have the time, and wasn't that interested. For him, hidden weapons were just a way to stay alive, so he didn't plan on studying too hard. Night fell quietly. After the previous night's attack, the capital was on high alert. Imperial guards patrolled the empty alleys, lanterns in hand. As a group of guards moved on, a ghostly figure appeared in front of a grand mansion. Xuanwu Marquis Estate. Zhuan Zhu looked at the gold plaque over the door, a sneer on his lips. He darted into the house. He wouldn't trust this task to his men. He'd been personally ordered to cut off the head of Marquis Xuanwu's son. I believe Marquis Xuanwu has 3 legitimate sons. The eldest should be in the east wing. Finding his target, Zhuan Zhu blended with the night as he moved through the compound. Damn it, try to hide from me, will you? Get naked and crawl over here. Or I'll kill your whole family, you hear me? An arrogant voice rang out from a bedroom, followed by crying and the sound of clothes being ripped. Master Ji, please, let me go. I'll get on my knees. Wah! Zhuan Zhu's eyes turned cold. He pulled out the smoke he'd prepared long ago, poked a hole in the window, and blew it in. Soon, all was quiet inside. A moment later, Zhuan Zhu walked out, a black bag in his hand. He flew to the main courtyard, knocked Marquis Xuanwu unconscious with smoke, and hung his head above his bed. My lord, as Zhuan Zhu left the mansion, a figure appeared before him. We found the location of the Blood Evil Pavilion. Tell everyone, the Black and White Impermanence assessment starts in 3 days. Yes, sir. The two vanished into the darkness. Ning Fan's counterattack had finally begun. Chapter 64, Dayu's National Training, Assassins Come to Beijing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. King Yu City, capital of Yu the Great, bustled at dawn as travelers and soldiers streamed in, poles slung over their shoulders, shops were opening, vendors setting up stalls, and everyone swept their bit of street. Even the bun shops had their signs out early. You hear about Great Yu wiping out 170,000 enemies in the east. Dude, that news hit the capital yesterday. You're just catching up. That's not all. Word is, the emperor called a meeting with the bigwigs to talk peace, and Minister of Rights Xianxia suggested handing over 2 states to Donghuai. No way. Shop owners gathered in small groups, buzzing with the latest rumors. Seriously? Did that guy get hit in the head with a brick? Who knows? I also heard King Xuanyong ripped Xianxia a new one in front of the whole court. Oh. How bad was it? The thin man chuckled, looked around, and lowered his voice. King Xuanyong pointed right at Xianxia and said, today it's 2 states, tomorrow you gonna offer up your wife and daughters too? Ha! Ha ha ha! Everyone roared with laughter. A big, burly guy chimed in, good for King Xuanyong. A court official suggesting peace before we even finish fighting. That's just dumb. But isn't King Xuanyong supposed to be a rich kid? Doesn't sound like him. That was the old him. The thin man said with a look of admiration, now His Highness King Xuanyong, head of the royal guard, raided the homes of 10 corrupt officials a few days ago and seized millions in silver. These days, everyone in the capital's singing King Xuanyong's praises. Everyone nodded in agreement just as a government official on horseback galloped towards the city gate, holding up a scroll. By order of His Majesty. The edicts of Yu the Great are now law. No emperor of Great Yu shall ever seek peace, pay tribute, cede territory, or offer reparations. We will sooner see our nation fall than seek peace. The prince guards the gate of the country, and the monarch and his ministers die for the country. Let it be known throughout the land, that the official raced past, and people stopped to stare, their faces stunned. A pale scholar muttered, no marriage, no tribute, no land, no compensation. The prince guards the gate of the country, and the monarch and his ministers die in the country. Victory! With such a wise king, Great Yu has nothing to fear. A burly man shouted, hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Since the beginning, Great Yu has been fighting wars, winning some, losing some, but we've never surrendered. That Minister of Civil Affairs is a coward. Exactly. Even if we could win, he's giving away 2 states to Xianxia. Isn't that what Dong Hui wants? Overnight, Minister Zheng became public enemy number 1, Zhuan Zhu mansion, bedroom. Tick-tock. Tick-tock, the rhythmic sound echoed. A figure stirred in the bed and slowly opened its eyes, their gaze empty. Tick-tock. Ji Hong sniffed, heard the ticking, and sat up abruptly. A bloody human head hung in front of the bed. He trembled. Guards! The terrified shout alerted the guards. Ji Hong focused on the disheveled face, his pupils shrank, and he almost fainted. Lord Marquis, what is it? A butler rushed in, horrified at the sight of the head. Zhong'er! Marquis Xuan Wu roared, pointing at the steward. What are you waiting for? Get it down. Yes, yes, yes. The housekeeper froze in fear. Guards filled the doorway. Ji Hong strode out. Who did this? What do you guys even do? Who killed my son? When did they hang his head here? What's happening? Someone tell me. Marquis Xuan Wu, enraged, grabbed a guard and punched him. Lord Marquis, calm down. Calm down. How can I calm down? My son's head was hung on my bed, and none of you noticed. If they'd come after me, would my head be up there too? Ah. You're all useless. If you don't find the killer, you're dead. Ji Hong waved his hand and stormed off. News of the assassination spread like wildfire, creating tension in the capital. In the palace, when Emperor Yu heard the news from his secret guard, he was startled. Zhuan Zhu mansion. Yes, Your Majesty. What do you make of this? Emperor Yu's eyes flickered. The leader of the secret guards, Jian Nan, paused. Your Majesty, the genie guard reported no unusual activity last night. After Jian Nan's words, Emperor Yu asked calmly, how did Marquis Xuan Wu react? He beat his guards and reported it to the authorities. Do you think his second son is involved? This. Jian Nan looked troubled and bowed his head. All right, dismissed. Keep a close watch on the Xuanwu Marquis mansion and report any news immediately. Yes, sir. After Jian Nan left, Emperor Yu's face grew serious. His second son had become an enigma. The day before, he was attacked in his mansion. The next day, the head of his enemy's son hung over his bed. This force scared Emperor Yu. Second son, I hope it's you, but I don't want it to be you. Don't disappoint me. Chen mansion, Ji Hong, in a black robe, slipped in through the back door. Third master. I've heard. Chen Rui sighed, looking at Ji Hong's bloodshot eyes and clenched fists. My lord, my condolences. What do you think, third master? I'm lost. Chen Rui shook his head. You've been keeping a low profile and staying out of politics. It shouldn't be anyone in court. Have you offended anyone? No. For the sake of the plan, I've isolated myself from my former friends. Ji Hong tried to calm himself. If you had to guess. King Xuanyong. Chen Rui's eyes narrowed. King Xuanyong only controls the Jinyui. But this doesn't seem like their style. Brother Ji, any word from the Blood Evil Pavilion? Ji Hong nodded. I gave them the generous gift. The leader seems interested in joining the Qin family. He sent 3 gold medal assassins and 10 silver ones to Beijing, awaiting your orders. Good. Chapter 65, Bringing the Royal Guards to the Door, and Breaking Through with Force. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Right in front of the Jingzhou mansion, Shen Wansan was back, but this time he had backup, a handful of tough-looking guys decked out in flying fish suits, sporting embroidered spring knives at their waists. The Imperial Guard. The gatekeeper's face went white as a sheet when he saw the 4 figures trailing Shen Wansan. His knees started knocking something fierce. Welcome, sirs. Good to see you again, pal. Shen Wansan stepped forward, a smile plastered on his face. He gave a slight bow. Excuse me, is Lord Fu Yin around? Xuanyong's calling again, that the officer gulped hard and nodded, dumbstruck. Please wait one moment, sir. I'll go tell him. Watching the gatekeeper hightail it into the yamen in a panic, Xuanyong couldn't help but think, having friends in high places sure makes things easier. Inside Jingzhou Mansion, in the back. Sir, Xuanyong's here to see you again. Xuanyong. Ma Ziyuan frowned a little, like he was racking his brain to remember who that was. Tell him I'm busy. Didn't I make myself clear before? I don't want to see anyone. The gatekeeper looked embarrassed, and spoke in a shaky voice. The thing is, sir, this time Xuanyong showed up with 4 royal guards in tow. What was that? Ma Ziyuan's face went white. The Imperial Guard? That's right. Quick, get Mr. Shen in here. And brew some good tea. Ma Ziyuan scrambled toward the entrance. He spotted 5 figures standing near the grievance drum. He quickly wiped the sweat from his brow, bowed slightly, and said, Master Shen, please forgive me for the delayed welcome. Master Ma, the pleasure's all mine, glad to finally meet you. Xuanyong chuckled. No need to get worked up, sir. I'm not with the Imperial Guard. These 4 are just friends. Ha ha. Mr. Shen's a comedian. Please, come on in. Alright, let's go inside and talk. The group strode into the main hall of Jingzhou Mansion. After some small talk, Ma Ziyuan asked cautiously, I wonder, Master Shen, what brings you here? I'm not here officially. I'm just looking to make a deal. Master Shen, just name it. If I, Ma Ziyuan, can swing it, I'm all in. Ma Ziyuan breathed a sigh of relief. Okay, he was here to ask for a favor. That was something he could work with. Mr. Ma, you're a man after my own heart. Xuanyong cut to the chase. I'm a businessman, as you know. I've heard that you own some scrubland east of the city. I'm looking to build a horse farm out there, and I've come to talk to Lord Ma about it. A racecourse? Ma Ziyuan looked shocked. Master Shen, I'm afraid that's a bit. Is there a problem? Before Xuanyong could say anything, the Imperial Guard behind him frowned and spoke up. Before leaving, Commander Chang made it clear that Ma Ziyuan, the governor of Jingzhou Prefecture, has a few skeletons in his closet. But word has it that you and Mr. Ma are friendly. Out of respect for you, the Imperial Guard is willing to look the other way. We'll investigate or not, just say the word. On hearing the Imperial Guard's words, Ma Ziyuan's knees almost gave out. The Imperial Guard knew about his dirty dealings. Master Shen. I'll give you the wasteland east of the city. The deed's at my place. I'll send someone to fetch it right away. Please, have a seat. Somebody. Get on it. Ma Ziyuan broke out in a cold sweat, and his eyes were filled with fear as he looked at Xuanyong. Who was this guy? How did he manage to get the Imperial Guard to vouch for him? Master Ma, you're too kind. I'm here to do business, not to shake you down. As I understand it, you dropped a cool 30,000 taels to get your hands on that scrubland. I wouldn't dream of taking advantage. I'll give you 50,000 taels for the deed. Ma Ziyuan's expression went blank, and he quickly shook his head. Mr. Shen, you're too generous. I'd be happy to help you build your racecourse, it's the least I can do. I'll have the official paperwork drawn up for the racecourse construction, Mr. Shen. And if you need anything else, just give me a shout. Master Ma, you're too accommodating. Xuanyong sat in the hall for a little while. Ma Ziyuan had someone fetch the deed and hand it over himself. Master Ma, I don't have 50,000 taels on hand right now. How about I write you an IOU? Oh, Ma Ziyuan was cursing under his breath, but he still managed to smile. Mr. Shen, you wound me. I trust you completely. No need for an IOU. Pay me back whenever you get around to it. In that case, thanks a million, Mr. Ma, Chen Wansan casually tucked the deed away. He looked at the guards behind him and said, "Gentlemen, I've got some business to take care of. I'll see you around." "Mr. Shen, take it easy," the four imperial guards nodded politely. Ma Ziyuan's panic rose as he watched Chen Wansan leave alone. "Master Shen." "Humph," the leader of the imperial guard scoffed, fixing Ma Ziyuan with a cold stare. "Master Ma, you're pretty tight with Master Lu, the former Minister of Household Affairs, Lu Hao." This. His Excellency the Commander said that since you've done some good for the people of Beijing over the years, he's willing to look the other way, for now. Over the years, all the money Mr. Ma has embezzled will be sent to the Jinyui Yamen. Let's just let bygones be bygones. On hearing the Imperial Guard's words, Ma Ziyuan's heart sank, but he also felt a surge of relief. He knelt down and kowtowed. "Thank you, Your Excellency, the Commander, and thank you all. If a single word of what happened today gets out, I swear I'll personally lead the charge to tear down your family's front gate." Yes. I won't breathe a word about anything that happened today. Just watch yourself, the four imperial guards strode off. Ma Ziyuan seemed to have lost all strength. He slumped back in his chair, his brow slick with cold sweat. My whole family dodged a bullet. Most people just aren't equipped to deal with these devils showing up on their doorstep. King Xuanyong, it seems he's looking for an opening to get closer to that man. At Prince Xuanyong's mansion, Ning Fan had a long spear in his hand. The spear danced in the air like a swimming dragon, flipping and charging, the sound of it cutting through the air was ceaseless. You've practiced the first style of 13 deadly spears once. Experience plus 10. You practiced the 13 deadly shots. Congratulations, Master. The first move of the 13 deadly spears has reached the realm of great accomplishment. Do you want to check the martial arts support page? Check, 13 deadly spears, great accomplishment, 10 out of 1000. Seeing that the first form of the 13 deadly spears had officially reached the realm of perfection, Ning Fan could feel that his marksmanship had undergone a qualitative change. Even though he had only learned the first form, he could clearly feel the improvement. Ning Fan couldn't help but click on the system. After checking, he found that his force level had increased by 5 points again, reaching 59. Okay, so he was a slacker, but he'd only been practicing martial arts for less than a month. His force level had jumped from 39 to 59 points, an increase of 20 points, which was already impressive. "Sir, Princess Liao wants to see you." Chapter 66, Layout of Huainan, Assassin enters the city. You are listening at novelfull.audio. No way, not happening. Ning Fan wiped the sweat from his brow and put his foot down. "Second Master, she's really gotta see you. I am not equipped to deal with that hellion." Ning Fan sighed. Ning Yao had always been trouble since she was a kid. She used to follow Ning Fan around all the time, getting into mischief, even the trick of slipping something into someone's drink, he learned from her. That's why people give that little witch a wide berth. Alright, send someone to the palace, tell them Ning Yao's snuck out again. Yes, sir. Lin Yong's eyes lit up, and he hurried out of the yard. Ning Fan was just starting to think about building a greenhouse when Jia Xu strode in. "My lord." What brings you here?" "My lord, I've hand-picked hundreds of elite soldiers, ready to move south." Ning Fan's face turned serious. He thought for a moment and asked, "Any news from the Dian Wei?" "Reporting, we have sources in the Prince of Huainan's residence. He's been in contact with the south lately." "The ancient southern barbarians?" "Exactly." Jia Xu looked thoughtful. "The Prince of Huainan's been biding his time for years, he's been itching for a fight. But he's never dared to make a move because he knows the power behind you. Now, he's talking to the south, trying to use those barbarians to tie up Dali. I've also learned that the Chen family in Huainan have gotten awfully cozy lately. I'm afraid they're cooking something up." Ning Fan paused, then said quietly, my father wouldn't let the Prince of Huainan go unchecked. Start infiltrating Huainan immediately. Have the Dian Wei there cooperate fully with Haibingtai's operation. I want a net spread over Huainan. Whatever they're up to, I want eyes on them. Understood. Jia Xu nodded sharply. Ning Fan's eyes narrowed as he said, tell Jianggu he can move on Suzhou, arrest every official tied to the Chen family. My lord. Jia Xu's expression turned grim. The Chen family controls Dayu's biggest horse farms, plus the military supplies and pig iron our troops need. They've got us by the short hairs. If we move too fast, what happens? What's there to be afraid of? Ning Fan sounded dismissive. If the Eastern Territory was shaky, I might think twice. But Zhen is about to leave, the Chen family is not going to try to start a war with me. We can take their farms anytime, grab their iron or anytime. Once they're in a chokehold, I can do whatever I want. Jia Xu considered this, then nodded in agreement. That's true, sir. Send Jiang Yu to Jiangnan personally. Yes, sir. Ning Fan had just finished talking with Jia Xu when Shen Wansan hurried in, fresh from Jingzhou Mansion. Your Highness. Did you get the deed? Shen Wansan nodded and produced a deed from his robes. Ning Fan examined it and said, right away, start organizing workers to mine the salt and refine it. Your Highness, when do we sell it? Patience. Ning Fan's eyes gleamed. This refined salt is my gift to the Hu family. The Hu family on the frontier. Exactly. Ning Fan smiled. The Hu family controls all the salt. Now that I've got this refined salt, I've got their weakness. They're rich, but not rich enough to fight the throne. Stockpile 3 million stones, wait for the right moment, and smash the Hu family. Yes, sir. Shen Wansan looked excited. He saw the refined salt as a quick cash grab, but the prince saw it as a weapon to destroy an empire. Your Highness, the wine shop opens tomorrow. I hired some storytellers to promote our 3 wines. Word's already spread all over Beijing. Ning Fan smiled. Then let's make sure our wine shop is the talk of the town. Don't worry, Your Highness, I won't let you down. Good. Ning Fan gave Shen Wansan some more marketing pointers, and he left satisfied. Ning Fan turned to Lin Yong and asked, Uncle Lin, anything new out of Beijing? Second Master, you won't believe it, the capital's going crazy. The story of you chewing out official Zheng in the royal hall is everywhere. Guys are raising a glass to you. Seems like, the throne spoke loud for the first time in years. Seeing Lin Yong's pride, Ning Fan smiled and asked, anything else? One more thing. Word is the head of Xuanwu's eldest son was hung on his bedpost this morning. Scared the crap out of Xuanwu. Ning Fan nodded. How did Xuanwu react? Went to Jingzhou Mansion, of course. But Jingzhou Prefecture sent investigators to the Xuanwu Mansion, and they didn't find anything. Now, everyone thinks someone inside Xuanwu's family did it. Interesting. Ning Fan wondered if he should frame Xuanwu's other sons and start a family war. But then he decided it wasn't worth the effort, just have Zhuan Zhu visit the Xuanwu mansion every night and kill his sons. Xuanwu will break. Uncle Lin, find out if there are any paper makers in the capital. Also, send the craftsman here to Shen Wansan. We'll make the arrangements. Yes, sir. After Lin Yong left, Ning Fan sat in the yard, a habit he'd picked up recently. He sipped his tea, with a chess game he didn't quite understand in front of him, quietly pondering the complex situation in the court. My lord. Ning Fan smiled as a figure appeared. You're late today. My lord. Zhuan Zhu looked grim. I have received word that the Blood Pavilion has sent a group of assassins, we are not sure of numbers. Here for me. That's right. Zhuan Zhu took a letter from his sleeve and handed it over. This time, the Blood Pavilion sent gold medal assassins, all top-notch, at least 3 of them. They should have entered the city over the past few days. Chapter 67 The God's Residence in the Underworld, the Chen family delivered to the door. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Did you find the Blood Fiend Pavilion's hideout? Reporting, my lord, it's on a desolate mountain east of King Yu's city. The desolate hills east of the city? Ning Fan looked surprised. What a coincidence. Exactly. The mountain's pretty much inaccessible. Over the years, the Blood Demon Pavilion's been active in the far north and south. Nobody would expect them to set up headquarters right under our noses, outside King Yu's city. How are preparations coming along? My lord, Oxhead and Horseface are in the capital. King Yama of the 10 courts will arrive tomorrow. My subordinates are ready to use this opportunity to restore black and white impermanence to their positions. Ning Fan nodded, impressed. Zhuan Zhu, with his memories of his past life, was arguably even more capable than before. Zhuan Zhu now oversees the underworld and has set down strict rules. Based on the underworld bureaucracy of my past life, each killer in the underworld can inherit a divine mansion, like those coated Oxhead and Horseface, as well as the returned King of the Wheel, one of the 10 courts of Yama. These 3 are the underworld's top fighters right now. According to Zhuan Zhu, they've all reached the level of elite assassins. Anyone in the underworld is called a ghost. Above the ghosts are the divine mansions. From the lowest ghost levels to the day traveler, night traveler, Oxhead, Horseface, black and white impermanence, the 10 courts of Yama, and so on, every divine mansion position requires Zhuan Zhu's approval. The underworld's power is just beginning. With only 3 divine mansions filled, Zhuan Zhu plans to use this operation to assess candidates for black and white impermanence. Those who pass will become black and white impermanence, a mid-level rank in the underworld. Ning Fan paused, then said, from now on, the 10 courts will divide up the central plains. The rest, like the 5 ghost emperors, the 10 Yin commanders, will oversee the headquarters. Since Oxhead and Horseface are here, we'll head to the desolate mountains east of the city at midnight tonight. And since the King of the Wheel can't make it, there's no need for him to come. The underworld's at a crucial stage of growth. We don't need to go all out to deal with just the Blood Fiend Pavilion. Zhuan Zhu, I expect the underworld team to be complete within a year. Yes. Zhuan Zhu nodded firmly. His Highness was giving him incredible support. If he couldn't strengthen the underworld, he'd be ashamed to face him again. Go get ready. Meet me at the desolate hills east of the city at midnight. Understood. In a quiet courtyard, Chu Hongxiu sat in the pavilion, staring blankly out the window. Princess. Any news? Reporting, we've been defeated. Huh? Chu Hongxiu frowned, looking disbelieving. Defeated? Yes. Qing Waner looked equally disappointed. After General Cheng got our message, he retreated 10 miles, but Dayu took the back road. Attacked from 3 sides, he couldn't hold, and the army retreated. We lost 170,000 elite troops. General Cheng died in battle. Boom. Qing Waner's words hit Chu Hongxiu like a thunderbolt. Tears streamed down her face as she sobbed. Princess. Qing Waner looked worried, hesitant to speak. Chu Hongxiu said softly, you can go. I'll sit here alone for a while. Princess, this isn't your fault. King Xuanyong is just too cunning. The guards at Prince Xuanyong's mansion have been withdrawn for some reason these last couple of days. Don't worry, Princess, we'll find a way to get you out of here. That's all right. Chu Hongxiu's face returned to normal, though she still looked sad. Sighing softly, she said, my half-year plan in Donghuai collapsed in an instant. How can I face my father again? Maybe I should just live here in seclusion, wait for an opportunity, and atone for my mistakes. But... Okay, Waner. You and Xiu'er must not act rashly. Chu Hongxiu's eyes flashed. King Xuanyong isn't petty. He's a deep schemer, unpredictable, and extremely shrewd. He also has a lot of tolerance. He probably won't attack us anytime soon, and you mustn't provoke him. Yes. Any news about our people? No. Qin Wanner's expression darkened. The Jinui Yamen is heavily guarded, making it difficult to approach, and the information inside is even more airtight. I'm afraid they're in danger. But it seems Dayu hasn't been peaceful these past couple of days. I heard Ning Fan was attacked the day before yesterday. Chu Hongxiu looked startled. Did you say all the guards at Prince Xuanyong's mansion have been withdrawn? Yes. Qin Wanner thought Chu Hongxiu wanted to leave. Princess, do you want to make a plan and find a chance to kill him? Don't act rashly. Chu Hongxiu said seriously. This must be a trap set by Ning Fan. We can't walk into it. Yes. Ning Fan had Lin Yong prepare some hidden weapons like darts and silver needles. He coated them with poison and carefully packed them away. He wasn't planning to fight tonight, but since he was walking into danger, he needed to be prepared. Evil. Here. You get ready too. We're going to kill someone tonight. Kill. Dian Wei looked surprised, then his eyes lit up with a bloodthirsty gleam. He laughed. My lord, I don't need to prepare anything. These 2 halberds are enough. Ha! Ning Fan laughed, twirling a bone flute in his hand. He asked curiously, Dian Wei, are you a better fighter than Jingli, the commander of the imperial army? My lord, I've never fought Jingli. Want me to go pick a fight? Ahem, no need. Ning Fan shook his head as Jiangli hurried over, looking serious. Greetings, Your Highness. Jiangli, what brings you here? Ning Fan was surprised. Jia Xu had just left, and now Jiangli was here. Your Highness, our men have spotted assassins from the Blood Fiend Pavilion entering the capital. Half an hour ago, they entered the Chen Mansion. Are you sure? Ning Fan's expression changed, his eyes turning solemn. He stared at Jiangli. Are you sure? Your Highness, several assassins are under surveillance by our men right now. They're definitely in the Chen Mansion. The Chen Mansion. Ning Fan paced back and forth, his eyes flashing. This could be a perfect chance to flush out the snake. If the Blood Fiend Pavilion assassins could be caught in the Chen family's house, then the Chen family could be convicted of colluding with Underworld forces to assassinate the current prince. It would be a major blow to the Chen family's reputation. But the Chen family was one of the great families after all. Ning Fan couldn't guess how deep their roots went. Still, since they'd given him an opening, he wouldn't waste it. This time, you asked for it. If you're gonna play dirty, don't blame me for playing even dirtier. I just hope my father can handle it. Ning Fan's face turned grim. Even Dian Wei felt a chill run down his spine. Jiangli, gather our men and monitor the Chen Mansion closely. Yes, sir. Chapter 68 Your Majesty, Your Highness is not here to cause trouble, but to kill people. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Imperial Palace. Emperor Yu sat in the main hall, surrounded by Prime Minister Lin Qiushi, various ministers, and other officials, all standing at attention. Your Majesty, one minister began, the Ministry of Revenue is buried under a mountain of urgent paperwork. But the minister position has been empty, and those fraudulent accounts from Lu Hao and Su Pengzhan are still a mess. We urgently need a new Minister of Revenue, Your Majesty. Another chimed in. Yes, please appoint someone soon. Emperor Yu nodded. The Ministry of Revenue was crucial, and being stalled like this was a real problem. So, who do you think is up to the task? His gaze swept the room. Lin Qiushi hesitated, then suggested, what about Guan Qing, the Minister of Personnel? Humph, the Ministry of Personnel can barely manage itself. Your Majesty, how about promoting Zhou Xian, the Deputy Minister of Revenue. He's been there for years and wasn't involved with Lu Hao and Su Pengzhan. He's the most qualified. Minister Xianxian quickly seconded the motion. Emperor Yu glanced at a nervous-looking figure and said dismissively, Lord Zhou is too green. He needs more seasoning. Your Majesty, if no one in the capital is ready, why not pull in a county governor? Ji Sui offered. Emperor Yu paused, considering. Xianxian, which county governors have the best track record recently? Your Majesty, Li Hong of Dongyang and Sun Gongfu of Pings have served with distinction for years. All right. Get me their official reports. And not just theirs. I want reports from all county governors for the past 3 years. Yes, Your Majesty. Turning to the Minister of War, Emperor Yu said, I received word from the Duke of Xinghua. The eastern border is secure, the army's coming home. Since Xiao Rui is in Huainan, King Xuanyong will welcome them back on my behalf. The Ministry of War and the Ministry of Rights will coordinate. Understood. The officials bowed solemnly and departed. As Emperor Yu prepared to tackle his paperwork, Jing Li hurried to his side. Your Majesty, he whispered, the Jinui are on the move again. Emperor Yu frowned. Who's the target this time? The Qin family. Emperor Yu's eyes narrowed, but his face remained impassive. He thought for a long moment, then picked up a memorial. I thought he'd stay quiet for a while. So he's going after the Qin family. Why now? Did he find something? Maybe this isn't such a bad thing. Let him loose. A wry smile touched Emperor Yu's lips. Even he had to tread carefully around the 4 great families, and Ning Fan sicking the Jinui on the Qin family was a clear warning. It will test their reaction, at least. Let him proceed. That kid's usually got a good reason for what he does. But the Qin family isn't exactly an open door. How many men did he bring? Jing Li hesitated, a bead of sweat forming on his forehead. Your Majesty, the Jinui are out in force, heavily armed. What? Your Majesty, it's not just trouble, they're there to seize everything. That fool. Send someone to stop him. I want to see him, now. Yes, Your Majesty. As Jing Li rushed off, Emperor Yu clenched his fist so hard the documents in his hand almost crumpled. He took a deep breath, struggling to maintain his composure. Second son, the Qin family is untouchable right now. Don't dig your own grave. Qin mansion. In a dimly lit hall, 10 figures stood before Chen Rui, each radiating a chilling aura of rebellious menace. Master Chen, we're here on orders from Master San, under the command of the Blood Evil Pavilion leader. Ha ha ha, excellent. Chen Rui beamed. Work for the Chen family, and Master San will make sure you're well taken care of. Ji Hong, standing beside Chen Rui, glanced at the figures and murmured, Master San, these are 10 silver medal killers from the Blood Evil Pavilion. The 3 gold medals are hidden in the capital, ready to strike when needed. They'll eliminate any obstacles for you, Master San. Well done, very well done. Chen Rui grinned. Make yourselves at home here. Yes, sir. The Qin mansion's housekeeper led the killers away. Chen Rui turned to Ji Hong, a smile playing on his lips. Now that we have the Blood Evil Pavilion on our side, we can clear those obstacles in the capital. First, we need to deal with that troublesome King Xuanyong. Word is Zhao Changjing is on his way back. What do you think? Though he asked Ji Hong, Chen Rui's meaning was clear. Ji Hong's eyes widened. You're going to move against Zhao Changjing? Indeed. Zhao Changjing and his cronies are loyal to the emperor. If we take them out, the emperor's position will be weakened considerably. Master, this is risky. I've consulted the family. They have no objections. This. Ji Hong hesitated. Zhao Changjing and his men were seasoned warriors, wielded considerable power, and enjoyed the emperor's trust. With them leading the returning army, taking them out would be far from simple. Bad news. Third Master, the Jinyui, they've surrounded the mansion. What? Chen Rui shot to his feet, eyes bulging. Did Ning Fan come himself? Yes. Humph, that fool doesn't know who he's messing with. Chen Rui sneered. Does he think he can just walk into the Chen family's home? Third Master, the Jinyui are here for blood. Emperor, you wouldn't dare openly defy my family. Word of this will reach the palace, and they'll be here any minute. We'll see if the Jinyui dare force their way in. Gather the guards. If the Jinyui try to break in, show no mercy. Yes, sir. Chen Rui turned to Xuan Wu. You should leave through the back gate. I'll handle Ning Fan. Third Master, be careful. Don't ruin everything. Don't worry, Chen Rui, am not afraid of a little punk. Chen Rui smirked and strode toward the front gate, followed by a company of guards, swords drawn. Chapter 69 Chen Rui's confidence, Jia Xu blocks the way. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Listen up. Anyone who sets foot on Chen Mansion grounds, no matter who they are, will be killed on sight. This is my Chen Mansion, and you are my family's servants. Understood. Chen Rui paused, turning to face the guards, his voice booming with confidence. Third Master, the housekeeper whispered, the leader is King Xuanyong. So what if it's King Xuanyong? Chen Rui scoffed. This is the Chen Mansion. Even if Emperor Yu himself comes calling, he'd better send in a visiting card. Arrogance plastered Chen Rui's face, tinged with disdain. He figured Emperor Yu wouldn't risk turning against the Chen family just yet. Besides, this wasn't Emperor Yu's order, it was King Xuanyong freelancing. Perfect opportunity to send a message to those fence-sitters in the court. Open the gate. At his command, 2 guards rushed forward, slid the wooden bolt and the doors creaked open. As Chen Rui prepared to march out with over 100 guards, he saw 3 rows of Jinyui soldiers outside, armed with heavy crossbows and aiming directly at them, ready to fire. Their leader, a young man in simple robes, watched him with a playful smile. Chen family, Mr. Chen III. Ning Fan's tone was soft, but his smile was mischievous. He glanced at the ranks behind Chen Rui and remarked casually, "What's this, Mr. San? Planning a rebellion, are we?" Humph. Chen Rui seethed, but facing a wall of crossbows, he forced himself to stay calm. What is your Highness doing, surrounding my Chen Mansion? Catching a wanted criminal. A wanted criminal? Chen Rui frowned, his voice turning icy. My family has always been law-abiding. There's no wanted criminal here. Oh really? Because the assassins from the Blood Evil Pavilion who tried to take me out the other day are currently enjoying your hospitality. Chen Rui, you're in league with assassins to take out a prince of the realm. That takes some serious nerve. Ning Fan's expression hardened instantly, his face a mask of cold fury. A hint of dread flickered through Chen Rui's heart. How could this notorious playboy project such an aura of menace? Your Highness, these are baseless accusations. My family has always acted with honor. My father was appointed by the late emperor himself. I will not stand for such slander. So, you're willing to protect known criminals from justice? Ning Fan's eyes narrowed, radiating menace. For some reason, Chen Rui felt a chill creep down his spine. This so-called playboy actually exuded this kind of oppressive aura. Your Highness, there are no wanted criminals in Chen Mansion. If you won't hand them over, I'll find them myself. Move. Ning Fan snapped, anyone who gets in the way is to be cut down. Yes, sir. The Jinyui behind him immediately braced their heavy crossbows, fingers on the triggers. Chen Rui's face twisted with indecision. Why would this little prince dare to provoke the Chen family so brazenly? Even the emperor himself treats my family with some deference. Mentioning Emperor Yu's name didn't faze him. Could it be Emperor Yu really plans to target me? On a street just a few blocks away, a contingent of Jinyui guards faced the palace. When they spotted a unit of imperial guards rushing towards them, they braced for action. Leading the approaching guards was Jia Xu. Block the street. No one goes in or out. Yes, sir. The Jinhui formed a barricade across the street. Jingli rode to a halt, his face hardening as he recognized the guards. Jinhui. Indeed. Jia Xu smiled and gave a slight bow. Jinhui Deputy Commander Jia Xu, reporting to the Commander-in-Chief. So, it's you. Hearing the familiar voice, Jingli recognized the scholar who had debated affairs of state with His Highness at Xianyong Palace a few days earlier. Commander Jia, where is His Highness? Performing official duties, sir. Jingli frowned. Did he go to the Chen residence? I'm not at liberty to say. Listen to me. Tell His Highness the Emperor wants him back at the palace, ASAP. That's. Jia Xu feigned embarrassment. I'm under strict orders from His Highness to block the street. No one is to pass, without express permission. You. Jing Li's face flushed with anger. Jia Xu, this is the Emperor's command. Are you refusing a direct order? Certainly not, but His Highness has ordered us to stop anyone who comes, or face execution. Please don't make things difficult for me, Commander. Jing Li's eyes narrowed. He understood perfectly, the moment he saw Jia Xu's unyielding expression, this unit was here to stop him, that man was certain the Emperor would send an envoy. Commander Jia, do you realize what the repercussions are of moving against the Chen family? Of course. Then why are you standing by? Why would I intervene? You. Jing Li sputtered, then said angrily, His Highness just gained some power, and he's already attacking the Chen family. Do you have any idea how influential the Chen family is? Once their house is set ablaze, even the Emperor won't be able to save him. Jia Xu regarded Jing Li with surprise, noticing the earnestness in the other man's face. Clearly, this Commander-in-Chief held a positive opinion of His Highness, otherwise, he wouldn't be so invested. Commander, His Highness is fully aware of the consequences, and he still went ahead. Do you know why? Hearing Jia Xu's question, Jing Li hesitated, a glimmer of speculation in his eyes. Could it be His Highness is confident of weathering this storm? Impossible. Commander-in-Chief, the die is cast, and there's no changing it now. Best to report back to the Emperor. I'll see that a message is sent to His Majesty. Ask that he go to the palace to see the Emperor. Alas. Jing Li shook his head and sighed, casting a complicated glance at Jia Xu before saying, Jia, be careful. He turned his horse and rode back to the palace. Jia Xu watched him go, his expression becoming pensive. He faced his closest confidants and spoke softly, Go, do as I instructed. This affair must remain strictly confidential. Yes, sir. Several Jinhui soldiers in plain clothes dispersed in different directions. Chapter 70, Falling into a Trap, Unexpected Discovery. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chen Mansion. Ning Fan waved his hand, and 3 rows of soldiers unleashed a volley of arrows, the bowstrings twanged, and a hail of arrows flew toward the mansion gates. Ah! Ugh! The Chen Mansion guards charging forward dropped like flies. Chen Rui's forehead was slick with cold sweat as he stared at the calm figure in the distance, fear etched on his face. He actually dared to kill. This guy's a maniac. Chen Rui cursed under his breath, scrambling backward. The remaining guards, battered by the arrow fire, retreated after him. Kill! Jiang Li charged forward, blade flashing, followed by the Jinhui, who descended upon the guards like wolves. The Chen family guards were elite, but they were no match for the Jinhui, a pack of demons. Led by Jiang Li, the Jinhui stormed the Chen mansion. Find the Blood Demon Pavilion assassins, leave no stone unturned. Yes, sir. At Jiang Li's command, teams of Jinhui fanned out. The Chen mansion was vast, larger than most officials' residences, making the search a challenge, but Ning Fan didn't seem worried. He had the Chen mansion surrounded, no one was getting past him. Damn it! Why hasn't the Emperor Yu's order arrived? Did they figure something out? Chen Rui huddled behind the guards, panic creeping into his eyes. He never imagined that King Xuanyong would be so reckless, so bold. Didn't he realize the consequences of raiding the Qin mansion? Third Master, we're getting slaughtered out here. Shouldn't we just surrender? Surrender? Tell those guys in the guest rooms to break out through the back. Yes. The head servant scurried toward the guest rooms, but Ning Fan didn't stop him, a hint of amusement playing on his lips. Third Master Chen, I'll give you one more chance. Hand over the Blood Demon Pavilion killers, and I might consider sparing your family. Otherwise, no one in the Chen mansion will survive. Ning Fan's voice was calm, almost casual, with a hint of a smile, as if he were simply making conversation, but Chen Rui felt a chill run down his spine, especially from the murderous intent hidden in that smile. It was terrifying. I'm telling you again, His Highness, there are no Blood Demon Pavilion killers in the Chen mansion. Now, a shout erupted from the backyard, and figures leaped into the air, ghostly shadows rushing towards Ning Fan and the Jinyui. What's this? Surprise flickered across Ning Fan's face. They just jumped out on their own. Were they trying to die? Mr. Chen-san, looks like your luck just ran out. Seeing Ning Fan's mocking gaze, Chen Rui's face turned green and purple. He couldn't figure out how Ning Fan had tracked down the killers. If he could stall King Xuanyong until someone from the palace arrived, the crisis would be averted. He could even turn the tables, pressuring Emperor Yu through his connections in court. If push came to shove, he could always kill the assassins and erase the evidence. But these 10 idiots had not only failed to slip out the back, they'd rushed out into the open. Right into the trap. A flicker of ruthlessness ignited in Chen Rui's eyes. King Xuanyong, don't get ahead of yourself. It's not over yet. Seeing Chen Rui's resolute face, Ning Fan sneered. Just a last-ditch effort. The Chen family conspired with the Blood Demon Pavilion to assassinate the Crown Prince and seize control of the government. Everyone in the Chen family is to be killed without mercy. Seize Chen Rui. Yes, sir. Jiang Li roared, charging toward Chen Rui, blade raised. Dian Wei and several Jinyui moved to protect Ning Fan. The silver-level assassins of the Blood Demon Pavilion were truly powerful. Most Jinyui couldn't last 10 seconds against them. Dian Wei, I'm fine, go help take them down. Yes, sir. Dian Wei charged forward, halberd in hand, engaging the 10 assassins. Ning Fan flicked his wrist, and a dart flashed in his hand. He took aim at a Chen mansion guard and hurled it. Thunk, the dart sank into the guard's throat, accompanied by a spray of blood, and a system notification popped up in Ning Fan's mind. You killed one person with a dart, hidden weapon skill plus 57. Ha! Ning Fan was stunned. Killing people improved his skills. And by 50 points at a time. Was this a system bug, or? Ning Fan grabbed another dart and threw it, taking down another Chen mansion guard. You killed one person with a dart, hidden weapon skill plus 59. Holy crap, Ning Fan couldn't help but exclaim. He only got 5 points for shooting a rabbit with a dart, and he usually got 5 points at most from practice. But now, killing one person gave him 50 points. Ning Fan's eyes lit up. He grabbed a spear from a corpse and charged forward. He swung the spear, sweeping aside a guard. He executed the first move of the 13 deadly spears, Acacia. You killed one person with the first move of the 13 deadly spears, skill plus 50. It's true. After killing the guard, Ning Fan quickly retreated, his face flushed with excitement. Killing was the fastest way to improve his skills. The system hadn't told him that. Ning Fan was ecstatic. Meanwhile, the Jinyui beside him were awestruck. They had no idea that His Highness was a martial artist. In the thick of the battle, the Chen mansion guards were falling left and right. The 10 silver-level killers used their acrobatic movements to ambush the Jinyui. In a matter of moments, 3 Jinyui were dead, victims of the assassin's sneak attacks. Dian Wei swung his halberd at an assassin. The assassin tried to dodge but was too slow. He could only desperately raise his dagger to block. But Dian Wei's power was overwhelming. The halberd slammed the assassin aside, and one of Dian Wei's darts found its mark in the assassin's throat. You killed one person with a dart, skill plus 76. System, why do the skill points gained from killing enemies vary? Master, the stronger the enemy, the more skill points you gain. I get it. Understanding dawned on Ning Fan's face. He hid behind the jinui, occasionally throwing a dart to take out an enemy at a critical moment. System, check the martial arts auxiliary page, 13 deadly spears, great accomplishment, 60/1000, hidden weapon, Grandmaster, 808/3000, leaf and flower fling, entry, 5 out of 100. Ning Fan was frantically leveling up his skills, and his hidden weapon proficiency was climbing rapidly, bringing him one step closer to perfection. This unexpected discovery thrilled him. He had thought constant practice was the key, but now he knew he could directly farm experience points. I should find a chance to go outside the city and take care of some bandits.